Hi, this is Sebrena in the Around the Way garden. I was out this morning doing some maintenance to the garden. Um, Being that this is the first year back to Eden garden, I see a couple of disappointments, but all in all, it's going pretty good. This bed right here that I have peppers in and a couple of squash and carrots. I had the mulch in the fall really piled up. I mean, it was more than 3 or 4 inches. I would think it was at least 6 inches. I'm seeing how much the mulch has decomposed as I scrape down to the soil. You know, it's only about an inch or two. There's a little wormy there. Or centipede, couldn't tell. But now it's only down to an inch. So it looks like I'm going to need to start piling some type of mulch. I think I might do like Patrick from 1 Yard Revolution and put my grass clippings on top of the mulch. I have this squash plant. I think it's a white early squash. I don't know. I have it in a pot and it is huge. And I know it has outgrown the pot. But it has a whole lot of blooms as far as males are concerned. I'm starting to see some small, there's one right there, some small females. The thing is, it is so huge. If you get a side view, you can see how it has come down and then started bending up. I really don't have one of those small tomato cages to lend for it. I don't know if I should stick a bamboo stick and have it supported by it. I'm not sure. But I saw this one guy grow squash in pots and have beautiful squash. I have another one over here and they just get to be small. I don't know how big he's going to grow. I had two and they were only about 2 inches. And then it seems like they were dehydrating and started to shrivel up. So I just picked them off. So I don't know if by chance I didn't pollinate it too well. So I just picked them off. And hopefully these will grow better. But it is a small pot. And I'm trying to grow a big squash plant in it. So I'm expecting the squash to be like, 6 or 7 inches. But I guess I can't expect that in a small pot. I'm going to get small fruit, being that the roots can't expand out. My disappointments in the garden are the bees. Last year, there were bees everywhere. I had a whole mound of bee balm, and the bees were just a buzzing. And I mean, it was just swarms and swarms of bees. And this year I've got bee balm. It's not as much, but I would have thought that it would bring in the bees. You know, over there I have lilies. You know, there's butterfly bushes, carrots going to seed. I mean, flowers everywhere. But I only see like 2 or 3 dedicated bees. So I'm putting them to work. And maybe they'll tell their friends to come on out. Let's get the buzzing. There's a whole lot of pollen to be had out here. The squash plants in this bed, this is one of the beds I put manure in, composted horse manure, as well as the mulch, tree mulch. All I see is a bunch of green. There's been one fruit that died, zucchini fruit. The pumpkins that I have out here, volunteer pumpkins at that, the pumpkins drop off, and the flowers never open. So I'm not sure what's going on. My egg yolk tomato has been putting on these most delicious fruits. I've enjoyed these. The birds have pecked at some of them, but they're producing. I'm so excited to get tomatoes before the 4th of July. You know how people say, you know, you're doing well if you get tomatoes before the 4th of July. I think one of my struggles here in the garden is that I am planting on a hill. As you can see, there is a slope. So I do have that to contend with. I didn't terrace it or anything. I just put the beds down. So I'm not sure if, you know, water is running down, not staying in one place. But I think as I build the soil back up with my compost, it might hold in the moisture more. I saw on Organics Best channel, he was doing a video on eggplants, and he used an electric toothbrush. I did that one year on tomato plants, and it did awesome, but I didn't know that you could do that on, there's my bee, on eggplants. So yesterday I used the electronic toothbrush that I had, dusted it out, and put it on the flowers and vibrated the flowers. So we'll see. Does that help any? I keep them watered. You know, I have, you know, one eggplant there slowly coming out. Seems like it's taken forever. Maybe I'm out in this garden too much. Because I'm like, is that all it's grown? Just that little bit? I mean, I know this isn't Burger King, you know, or McDonald's, and you get it right when you order it, but man, it seems this year stuff is growing slow, really slow. So my beans doing very well. I even planted some more because you never have enough beans when you have 6 people in a house. I have 4 girls and they can eat better than 4 boys. So I've got beans and they love green beans. And also my yellow wax beans. This year I'm dedicating the best plant for seed, which I have. Let's see, gotta go around here. This one seems to be my best plant, so I'm dedicating it to seed, to save seed. So I'm just letting them dry out on there. The green beans, I haven't really seen one that's been the best plant. I think I'm going for that one at the top of the screen there as being the best plant. So I'm gonna let him put out his beans and let them dry on the plant. I had another pear plant get that wilt again. I'm thinking it's just my seed that I saved. I obviously did something wrong, or maybe the pear plant, when I saved the seeds, had this type of wilt and just transferred it to the seed and it just stayed there. So I'm gonna have to get rid of my pear seed stash and order some more. So he kind of perked up this morning, so I'm just gonna let it go. Brought it down off of my little deck. So we'll see how it does. You know, he's kind of gnarly down there at the base of the stem. But usually I just think of that as roots wanting to come out. But I was looking at something called pith something. It's a type of bacterial disease. I'm thinking it might be that. I don't know. Now this bed, this is my catch-all bed. Like in my first video, I showed how I took some curly kale plant and put it over here because it was just ginormous and the seed pods were everywhere and it was just blocking light on some of my squash plants. So put it over here, and the pods have dried out and dropped. So I'm going to see if this bed will reseed with kale. I know at the base of the stem I have new foliage coming out. So, and this bed is mainly just wood chips. I had a whole lot of wood chips and I just found this section and just threw it out here. And I don't think I even put any cardboard underneath the grass or whatever. I just piled it up. I said, it's gonna kill the grass. So I just piled it up real high. So I have this squash plant here that was in that pot with that squash plant, and that one won. So I decided to take it out, take this little small one out, because I hate cutting off plants, you know, like squash plants. All these plants out here, pretty much all of them, I did from seed. So I hate to just cut off a plant and kill it. I don't know why I'm crazy like that. But so this one was in there, and I knew both of these squash plants could not support, that pot could not support both of those squash plants. So I took this one out carefully and put it over here. So I'm in the mode of live or die. So we'll see what it does. It might live, it might die, but this will give me an indication really how the mulch is really doing for plants. Then my little raised bed of, I believe this is dinosaur kale. It doesn't look like a dinosaur. Looks like a small dog. But I also just took out all my pea plants because they were dead. And my good neighbor, my good friend that moved to Alabama, she gave me this crib spring. So I'm using it for that cucumber to climb up. And I have a little squash plant over there. It's a new variety. I'm thinking it might be that same one that's in that black pot. That white early squash. But this is it normal. Not on steroids like it is in that pot. I don't know. It just has a bunch of male flowers on there. Hadn't seen a female yet. So, also this little plant over here is a pomegranate that I started from seed. He's small. I read somewhere that you let it get to about 2 feet, then you snip it off at the top and let it get side branches to bush out. So I'm waiting. It's only about 1 foot right now. He looks wimpy, but hopefully in a couple of years or maybe another year it'll put out pomegranates, because those are my favorite. So that's a look at my garden this morning. Hopefully I can figure out how to grow squash. I don't know why it is so hard for me. The most simple things can be the hardest for some. So, until we meet again, have a great day. Bye.